That hurt. More verticality. All right, welcome to the third and infamous segment of the Straight Red Card.
Not a Q&A.
Not a Q&A, no. But infamous in the sense that we're usually pretty toasty by now. And it is 10:46 p.m. at night for this third segment. And currently, Costa Rica are still leading Panama 1-0, which means what in the table again, Brett?
If Costa Rica does hold on to the win, they have 12 points. And Panama stays at 14. So that fourth position is getting, a little tougher there. Or a little tougher to maintain.
Yeah.
But what the good news is, for at least the United States, not talk about Canada or Mexico, because they're 1 point difference between all of us. But for the United States, that means we'd be 4 points above Costa Rica and 6 points above, 4 points above Panama, 6 points above Costa Rica.
Little cushion.
A little bit of a cushion.
Which is nice.
I mean, it definitely didn't help that Mexico and Canada traveled away and came away with 3 points.
Well, Jamaica blew that. They were up a goal. I know they were down to 10 men, but they let Mexico score a goal. And what did I read? Within 2 goals in 5 minutes. So
that's usually when all the goals occur.
So maybe that's wrong. I just read that somewhere. Doesn't mean it's right. But it was disappointing to see. I was so happy Mexico was going to lose because it really gave us a cushion above them. Was going to give us a cushion above them.
Mexico scored like 2 minutes apart.
Yeah.
81 and 83rd. Man, they went that far into the game. Son of a bitch.
Down 1-0 with 9 minutes left. And then scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. It's fucking ridiculous. I know. I missed the game. I mean,
that would have been an amazing turn of events. Whether it was a draw or a win, but would have been an amazing turn of events if that occurred.
Yeah. I'm not sure how they did it. I mean, I'm going to have to watch it tomorrow. Obviously, we watched the U.S. game tonight, so couldn't watch that game too.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how Jamaica just apparently fell apart in a 2-minute span. They had a big chance too to maybe even get themselves back in the conversation, at least mathematically, if they would have won against Mexico. Now it's pretty much over.
The few moments of the Canada game I watched, Honduras had several opportunities, but Canada got that own goal early and then capitalized on a nice quick outlet on their second goal.
See, that's the frustrating thing. Canada's scoring 2 goals at home.
No, they're away.
Oh, they scored 2 goals away? I'm sorry.
Honduras, yeah.
And we can't score 2 at home?
In fairness, though, we beat Honduras 4-1.
Yeah, that's true. I guess. Yeah. True. I just, was hoping for another one of those tonight.
Yeah, I was definitely hoping for a much more convincing win.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, what we're going to do is try our best to predict what Gregg is going to put on the field versus Canada. Now, I can't even begin to tell you how hard this is going to be because it should be fairly obvious. But Ferreira started today, and no one I know had him starting at center forward. No one. Did anyone have that?
No.
That you know? No.
No, of course not.
And then Pepi didn't even get to come on. So maybe he's just saving Pepi. I hope that's what it is.
Oh, certainly.
It's so frustrating listening to who's the guy with tight shirt calling the game?
I don't know.
John something. Anyhow, they're like, oh, yeah, he's had a rough transition so far in Augsburg. He's been there for 5 minutes, you fuck. Give him a break. Jesus Christ. Give him a time to, put soap in the fucking tub and find an apartment to live in and meet a new girlfriend or whatever. God damn. It's not like it's been that rough. It's not like he's been sucking. I mean, I don't get it, dude. I just don't understand this. The guy's been there for 3 or 4 games, and he's got to be what? Scoring goals out of his butthole already? How's that?
It was funny because I think I brought this up to you at some point that Hercules Gomez had kind of jumped on his balls as far as saying like, yeah, he's been there, he needs to start producing. Like, he's barely gotten he's barely got a full game's worth of minutes, and it actually turns out he has 110 minutes in 3 games. Doesn't have a goal yet. So,
110.
He just got off the plane. Let's give him a break. It's not, and he's not like he's having a terrible time there. I mean, first game was pretty suspect at points. No, second game. Sorry, his first game was fine because he came in for bit minutes at the end. Second game was not his best by any means, but he had chances and did some decent things here and there. Third game, I thought he improved, and the goals are going to come. He's had his chances. So it's kind of a silly thing to mention. Like, he's struggling over there in Germany. I'm like, he just got there.
He just got there. Give him a second.
Outside of the Bosnia game, he hasn't played for FC Dallas for a number of months prior. So
it's not like
let's give him a break.
Jumped off the plane like Christian Ramirez in Scotland and started scoring goals in some easy ass league. It's going to take him a while. Give him some time, Herc. Smoke a joint, rest, lay back, relax, let the kid play. Give him some games here. All right. It doesn't need to start, being goddamn Diego Maradona as soon as he gets off the plane. Just give him a break, man. All right. Enough of that. Okay, we're gonna have to predict this crazy ass lineup. Well, it's gonna be Turner in goal, right?
I'd be impressed if Stefan comes back now. He could come back now. Let's rephrase this. But I'd be impressed if he immediately gets to start after, having back stiffness and not showing up to camp.
I don't know this.
So it's got to be Turner.
Stefan hasn't played in a while. Why is he having back stiffies? I don't get it.
I mentioned that it's like, at least Man City would be to add backs to their benches. Damned English oak.
Yeah. I
don't. So sore from sitting up, man.
Sitting on that bench. Yeah. I'm not really sure about that injury. I don't know what's going on there. I'm sure it's real, but I'm not coming up with any. Yeah, I'm not coming up with any John Brooks conspiracy theories here, but and then what if Arsenal want him to sign that contract, and then Turner's got to get on that plane to sign that self-defeating contract? The one where he's going to ride Pine. He's going to have to leave, and that's going to mean Johnson. But I don't think they'll do that during this particular game.
Well, with Turner, they're talking about doing a summer transfer. So maybe he's just filing a whatever that contract is that you agree to sign with. If you're coming towards the end of your contract, you kind of agree to sign with another team before actually officially signing with them.
Well, yeah, that can happen sometimes, but more likely would be that they would sign him and loan him back to New England.
Well, they're hitting that snag with New York's hitting that snag with Caden Clark, so maybe it's not that easy to do so.
Well, that one's a little easier to do because it's inside the house. It's all Red Bull, right?
So they're still hitting a snag there, I think, because I don't know. I've only heard. I don't know if it's official. If there are issues, so
okay. Well, I'm not sure. We just know Caden Clark is not going to Leipzig.
No, we know that. But
and he's not being loaned to Salzburg within the Red Bull house.
Yeah, the big question is going to come down with Turner is if you sign with Arsenal and get loaned back to MLS, does Turner hit the allocation rule? The returning U.S. men's national team players. Does he get the official? Does he have the ability? It's not an official signing by any means, so maybe that doesn't count. A loan's different than transfer. So maybe that's an issue. I don't know.
But no, I don't think so. He's played enough games for the U.S. I think he's fine there. I think he'll get his work permit. I don't know why
you're missing my point. The point
I
would
am.
be, yeah, the point would be signing with Arsenal is not the issue. It's the loan back to MLS is going to be the issue because he's a U.S. men's national team player at this point, and he would fall into the allocation rule.
Oh, I'm sure they'll work that out at the MLS office, dude.
But that's the question people are bringing up.
All
Not
right.
necessarily for Turner, but they bring it up for Clark, and I imagine it applies accordingly.
I don't know. I'll have to research that a little more. All right. So you got to start Dest again, I think, right? Unless you're going to do Yedlin. You think Yedlin's going to start?
I don't think Yedlin's going. I don't think Yedlin's going to start. I mean, I imagine you have to play Dest. I imagine they're probably going to play Dest and Robinson in this game, and then probably make their changes as they see fit against Honduras.
I do think Miles is coming in for Richards, though.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
I think one of those two guys is getting a rest. I don't know who, but I'm guessing it's Richards.
I'm guessing Richards does, and then Miles and Richards for Honduras. It's my guess, pure speculation.
Yeah. And then same three in the midfield.
Yeah.
The MMA duo. I don't see any
that.
I don't see any reason to change that for Canada, especially after Gregg said these guys can go play again, 3 games.
I guess the thing to consider is, again, this is just me playing devil's advocate because I 100% agree that's going to be MMA. But I guess playing devil's advocate, Berhalter does tend to make his random changes to the team and rotations on the away matches. Home matches are always pretty consistent. So maybe we see somebody else start over somebody else. I don't know, but who would start? I mean, Luke De La Torre could start, but I mean, Berhalter doesn't play him. So what's the point?
I'd love to be able to listen to a post-game interview, and so I could get a better feel before making these predictions. But, but you're right. Really disappointing to see Luca De La Torre not getting like 10 minutes in this last game.
Yeah,
really disappointing.
I forgot who brought this point up. It was a pundit. Somebody brought it up, but they're like talking about the inclusions of like Leggett and Roldan, and they're like, yeah, well, it doesn't really matter in the end because they're probably not going to get much of any, if any, playing time. I'm like, somebody brought up a good point. It's like, God forbid one of the MMA gets injured.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we're relying on them because that's who we have available to us.
Yep.
You know, if everybody stays healthy, we play the full 90. Yeah, sure, it won't make a difference. But God forbid somebody gets injured, and then all of a sudden you have to rely on them. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with those players by any means. They've succeeded far beyond me by any means. But I've stand firm that they're not consistent national team players.
Right. Well, and that gets us to Pulisic. I'm guessing he's going to start again because he's Pulisic.
Yep.
But I'd almost honestly consider putting Aronson in and starting him instead. I just think Pulisic's just give him a game to think about it. If it's not Pulisic's fault because he's been told to do what he's doing, okay, I have a little more sympathy for him, but he's still not getting rid of the ball fast enough for me. He's not lifting his head and finding the open dude, and that's disappointing. And that's the only reason I think Aronson might start instead of him.
So if this was a club
or Morris,
I would agree. I think Pulisic is going to start primarily because I think his play set's going to play a larger role against Canada because Canada is going to be a little bit more sticking to their form. So I like how we've talked about how, like with El Salvador, that Pulisic would beat one man, all of a sudden he's got 3 other players surrounding him. I don't think that's going to be the case for Canada. I think they're going to hold their formation a little bit more, a little more with more care. I mean, they're definitely a more talented team in that sense. So I think they're going to try to keep their formation set. And I think it's going to play into his roles. But don't get me wrong. I think Aronson would definitely do just as well. I mean, not just as well. He could do just as well against Canada. I think Morris could do well, but I think Pulisic will start, and I think that's going to suit his play set better than playing against Honduras.
Right. And I think Weah will start again on the other side.
I would think
I don't
so.
see any reason to not start Weah. I mean, he's been really, really good. So, and then I think we see Pepi.
I would think so.
I mean, if we don't see Pepi, isn't that at that point starting to become weird?
Yeah, I mean, again, I know I gave Ferreira some props, but yeah, there's no way. It has to be Pepi against Canada.
I mean, if Greg's listening to Herc and some of the other critics might think that Pepi went to Augsburg and, lost his mind or something. But I don't think he believes that. So I think he'll be starting this next game. I think he's going to start the next two, actually.
Who, Pepi? Yeah. No, I think
Yeah.
so too. Yeah. I think Berhalter gave him a breather, not a breather because he didn't need a breather, but he rested in this game so that he's available for the next two. That's my thought process.
I guess he had one of the longer flights, right? Into camp from Germany.
No more than Richards.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think Richards runs as much as Pepi does for Augsburg.
Quite frankly, again, I stand firm on the fact that this is just a situation of where he's looking at rotating where he can rotate rather than saying, all right, this is my starting 11. Then I'm going to rotate an entire line change for the next game and then back to my starting 11. I think he's looking where he can play some players in to give people an opportunity to not necessarily play 3 games at 90 minutes.
I mean, because Pulisic got a rest this game at the end. So did Weah.
Well, that's also another point. We talked about that too. You don't necessarily have to play 3 90-minute games. You can start the same starting 11 and then just sub people out throughout the game. And they don't necessarily have to play 3 90-minute games.
Exactly. I just hope that one of those starting 11 isn't Ferreira. I hope it's Pepi. And
you're saying, yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's going to do it. I think we got through everybody. And I hope we're right. I think we're going to be close to right. We're usually pretty close to right.
I mean, again, even in the El Salvador game, we were only off by 1/2 players. I think, obviously we thought Pepi was going to start. Oh, we also thought Robinson was going to start. So maybe 2/3 players because we were also in question of whether or not Weah or Aronson was going to start. I think we picked Aronson primarily because Weah was coming back from injury. But
yeah, we weren't sure about that. So I think we got 3 wrong. But, I think we listed Weah right underneath Aronson.
Yeah.
So we were close. All right, folks, that's going to do it. Let's see how we do versus Canada, and we'll be back. And until then, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma, as we always say. Ring the bell, bing, bing, the Gary BC. And we'll be back next time. That hurt.